I came up with the company because almost 17 years ago, I lost my dad, my stepdad, and both my grandfathers in the same year. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to turn. And I just thought there should be some easy way to figure out this whole process after someone dies. And I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it for 15 more years before I finally picked up the phone and called you. I mean, I tried to hire you 2 times before, and you said no. Why yes on the 3rd time?
I think yes on the 3rd time because we were both literally just dropped off our kids. 2 dads in a parking lot. And you looked at me, you pulled me over to you, and you looked me right in the face, and it was very compelling. And like you said, you've said many times, like, when you're convinced of something, there's a conviction there that is contagious. Yeah. And it was contagious in that moment. And I said, wow, that's really profound. I said, yes, let's talk about this.
And then 2 weeks later,
you and I got together, and a mutual friend put us together. And then we sat down, had a really long lunch. And
about a 4-hour lunch.
A 4-hour lunch, and you told me you had 2 big ideas. The first one was awful, but what's your second one? And then the second one was what we're doing now, and it's pretty awesome.
You had the intuition and the heart and the passion to go for it, and Craig had the ability to put these things in place that allowed it to be this really compelling opportunity. And that was the inspiration to go to the edge of the diving board, right? And still scared about what trepidation about going over the diving board, but I met Craig. And I think what facilitated that, was he pushed me hard. No, what facilitated that was the opportunity to say, holy smokes, here's somebody that's got the intellectual prowess of being able to really big things and put things together and look at it from very different dynamics.
The real story with Craig, I thought Craig was like an insurance salesman, and people
I love this story.
People told me to call him, and I'm like, he thinks I'm rich. I don't have any money. I'm not going to call that guy. So I actually kind of ignored him twice. Yeah. And our mutual friend called, and he's like, dude, you really need to go meet Craig.
I would have never started this business by myself. And I don't think even 2 of us would have necessarily started this business, at least not the way it is now. Yeah. And where we feel like it will really be successful, I think. But what I saw quickly was I was like, wow, we have 3 people sitting around the table who all bring something really unique, and then even just the personality side too. I saw a lot of fit there really quickly. And then just the sheer magnitude of the problems we're solving. That was exciting. I mean, I love solving problems, and Matt had put his finger on a huge. Couple problems that needed to be solved, and then I looked around the table and I said, hey, the 3 of us can solve these problems.
That for me was like the 2 pieces of courage that was like, yeah, I'm all in, and feeling like I had something to offer from the standpoint of, look, there's going to be a lot of people that we get to help.
Yeah.
And my background has been helping people in really tragic situations.
Yeah.
Some of the most tragic in the country, and I still got to do that.
Yeah.
I still get to do that.
Yeah.
I still get to sit down with people on our team and outside of our team and talk to them and be engaged in that way, but with this incredible force.
Yeah.
It's rare that you find yourself in a position with really good people to make a difference. Right. And when you do, you embrace it.
When we started the business, people worried, like, are y'all going to get along? You overlap at all? No, it's the trust thing. It's good to know that, I'm great I'm the best in the world at some things, and I'm the worst in the world at some things. And I brought you 2 on because you're really good at those things. It's real simple.
Yeah.
Our first job, after we met, we were like, okay, well, this is a good idea. And Pete was still working. We all 3 still had other jobs.
Yeah.
And Greg was very clear on like, hey, let's test this. Let's get out there and see what's there. We knew it was a good idea, but good foreshadowing of a good CEO. Craig's like, this is great, but let's really go do it. And I told you, I said, hey man, you're going to experience something really cool. And I could tell you were kind of like, whatever, man.
Yeah.
And I watched you go through it, and I watched you go through all the emotions. And in any extreme cleaning, whether it be a loss, whatever remote it is, you see as a crew, as someone that actually is doing the work, you go through the emotions with the family. Yep. And I watched you go through it, and I had said to you, you're going to get a hug and a check, man. And I was so excited to see you go through it. And what happened?
All those things happen. We all cried like babies. We all got hugs, and then we got a check for the full amount of the project. And at that moment, I knew, I was like, we're gonna do this, even if all we can do is literally just pay ourselves a fair, living wage, the three of us, and go do projects ourselves. I was like, I'm willing to do that.
Yeah, it's there's a tremendous opportunity for, to go into someone's, personal space and be able to really help them come out of a dark place, or even a tragic place. It doesn't always have to be dark, but a tragic place. And to see them transform and feel connected to that, that's something that's incredibly powerful. Yeah. We see it as, as difficult work, as noble work, as this huge opportunity. Yeah. But we also see it as a tremendous responsibility. And I think that's part of being able to walk away from it. Sometimes it's hard because you feel so responsible for what the outcome is.
We looked at it and said it has to be a people business in order to work. And there's really no, you can swipe right and this is gonna, you're gonna solve all your problems.
I think that's absolutely right. And look, the reality is that if you've been in this situation, you need this help, what we know is that when you walk in a room and you see someone that's emotionally vulnerable because they're going through their family's items, because they're reflecting on the life that's no longer here, you need people that know when to back out of that room. You need to have people in that house that can read and understand and be intuitive about where someone is emotionally and support them in the right way. Mm-hmm. And technology is not there yet. Maybe it will be one day, but this is people understanding people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it's important to recognize we are using technology.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're not technology adverse.
No, we're using a lot of advanced technology behind the scenes to simply help people make their life better. And I think that's, the rest of the businesses are tech. We don't need that. We need really good people to help people.
And those things are not technical skills. Those are not teachable things. Those are, really, that's the way you behave as a human being. And you can't, it's not governed by what type of degree you have. It's not governed by what type of skills training you have. If you can code in Python, we may not want you to be a service tech because it's going to depend on what kind of person you are. Mm-hmm. And having deep technical skills means potentially nothing to us for the vast majority of jobs that we have. What matters is what kind of human being are you? And if you're a good human being that's got the ability to work with somebody, and what you brought to the table gave us the model to identify that, that we can find a great long-term career opportunity for you.
It's twofold. We're not just helping our clients. We're helping our employees, but our what's really cool to see is when it all comes together. As management, we're out of the way, and our people in the field get really connected with our families, our clients, and they help each other, and it's mutual. Yeah. And it's really cool to see both of their lives elevate by the end of the process, because it is such an emotional journey. I got a letter the other day from a family in another state. I've never met them. I never spoke to them. We helped them. We solved their problem. And she just said, I've never met you. I just want to thank you for creating this business. It changed my life. And that was my goal, was to get to a point where we can make a business big enough that we can help people, that we don't actually have to be at every house.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, now we can go around. We can help millions of families now.
Right, that's right.
And I'm excited about that.
Yeah. That's right.
I don't want to help 10.
That's right.
I want to help 1 million.
Yeah.
I want to help 10 million.
Yeah.
We're going to have an opportunity to help far more people together than we ever would have without.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know where we're going to be in 5 years. I'm going to be in 10 years. I know we're going to be helping families.
Yeah.
I know
that's
that.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know that I'll be sitting next to you guys.
Yeah.
And that's a cool thing.
Yeah.